There's another common question. There are patients who are not morbidly obese. They are obese like a class 1 obesity, and they want some kind of procedure to lose weight. Even if they don't have diabetes or hypertension or any other major comorbidity. And there are not many options available with the patients except liposuction and plastic surgery. So when it comes to a protruded tummy, patient is having class 1 obesity only, not morbidly obese. What do you suggest? What is the evidence on this? Should MGB be performed, or short limb MGB can be performed in these cases? What do you say?
Obesity is a terrible disease, and it's not a disease that comes and goes. It's not like having an upper respiratory tract infection or a cold or a flu or even the pandemic. Mm-hmm. It is there with you and then gets worse every day of your life. And socially, people are not viewed as good people. They look at people who are obese and they judge them poorly. Mm-hmm. So someone who faces obesity of any type, we can project they're not going to get thinner. Mm-hmm. That over 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, they will get heavier. And as they get heavier, even though they have no diabetes today, they will have diabetes. They will have arthritis. They will have heart disease, increased dementia, stroke, etc. For all these reasons, we can use surgery because we know that surgery is safe and good for your health. Here's what I mean. Again, the study in Taiwan shows that if you have an ulcer and you get an MGB, you're less likely to die of heart attack, you're less likely to have diabetes later in life. What we would like to say to patients who are mildly obese, what we would like to say is do everything you can to eat a healthy diet. Do everything you can to do those healthy lifestyle factors. But on the other hand, if a young unmarried female, a young man are facing the discrimination, the future of illness, diabetes, hypertension, heart attack, stroke, dementia in their family, that the MGB is attractive because it can be tailored to the patient. If we see a super obese patient, a patient who weighs how many kilos, we have the MGB. But we have the MGB with great power because we can tailor the BP limb length. The MGB with a short bowel BP limb length, that's called ulcer disease. And we know for many years that's a very safe long-term operation, but it causes significant interference with the digestion and absorption of sugar, fat, and junk food. And that's what most of us would wish to do. We encourage, we wish, we hopeful that we can help people do a better lifestyle. But when they face a lifetime of family history and bias against that obesity, I think MGB makes perfect sense, especially because an MGB is not just one operation. It's a very mild operation that's been done for more than 120 years now to treat ulcer disease. And we know it's a healthy, long-term operation. Plus, it can be super powerful. But in that range, my bias is everyone is a candidate for a mild MGB.
Yeah, there's a small story. I once had a patient who is actually my friend from US. He's a famous psychiatrist there. He came to me. He was again mildly obese, having a protruded tummy. Otherwise, looking at his BMI was like 31 or 30.56, something of that sort. So he says on myself in the mirror every day in the morning, he says, I don't feel good. I'm psychologically ill. And then I have to motivate, I have to counsel my patients. But all the times I am sad, depressed.
We are judged by our looks.
Yes. So in that case, discussing with him very carefully and taking a consent, I did the surgery. And after about, now it has been like 8 years, and whenever we meet, he hugs me. And, there is some gray area in this zone where we need
It's
to
not
address,
gray.
like,
Life is affected by our looks. It's not the way it should be. It's not the way it should be. But not only that, someone who is mildly obese today, in 10 years, and 20 years, and 30 years, and 40 years, has an increased risk of heart attack, stroke, death, diabetes, high blood pressure, and dementia.
Yeah.
And all of that potentially can be helped with a mild operation today. In guiding them away from junk food, from pizzas, from McDonald's, from those kinds of high fat, high sugar, high salt foods, that's a lifetime effect from a 30 to 40 minute operation.
Yeah. The doctor I was talking about, he had actually tried everything, and then he had liposuction and tummy tuck also. We know the internal fat, the visceral fat, which is inside the tummy, cannot be taken out with liposuction. And
No, they
tummy
tried that.
tuck.
No, try that,
So,
doesn't help.
yeah.
And what we know for MGB, we know data from our 20 years experience, and we know from 100 years of the Bill Roth 2 that it makes a difference in long-term survival. It decreases heart attack, stroke, death, dementia. I mean, just imagine that a 30-minute operation could protect you or increase your protection against dementia.
Sure.